Oh my fucking god! I'm gonna kill
Who's
someone.
doing that?
I don't know.
Do you, what idiot? Look at fucking Lucas' face. The eating grin ever. Totally him.
All right,
Kill
Zach,
someone.
have some questions. You want to start the discussion?
No, I'd prefer not to start, unlike I always do.
I elect you as speaking champion. Start the conversation.
You can.
I left you as speaking champion.
See, democratically held vocal office. Go ahead, Zach. What do you want to start this conversation out with?
Oh god. Okay, fine.
Yes, please.
So she talks about a universal standpoint that mankind's adopted with the birth of the information age is what I'm going to call it. I imagine this book's written before the actual true information age, more like.
Yeah, it was written in 1950.
So it's just after what, the space revolution?
No, 1960s.
There you go. That's my historical knowledge right there.
It's okay. That's why I'm here.
But she does mention space in it. At least
Are you talking about where she's talking about like how if we leave this planet, it'll change our like perspective?
Yeah, yes. She's also tying into the what the fuck's the Archimedean point? Archimedes point.
Mm-hmm.
How do you say it?
Archimedean point.
Whatever. Yeah. She's saying that we now no longer say, we no longer see things the way that we used to see things. That we now see things through a more like a global or universal perspective. That we see our place within the universe.
Which makes sense because if you think of the progression of society, we went from like nomadic groups, cities, nations, we're global society, and I mean, we have rovers on Mars right now looking at like the possibility of like terraformation. That's like some statistical data. So
yeah, so like more like the logic of for example, do you guys watch the Neil deGrasse Tyson video I linked? Did you actually finish watching it?
no, but I mean, based on what we watched in our discussion.
Okay, I'm gonna cover it. So at one point he mentions the greatest gift astrophysics gave mankind in the late 20th century, early 20th century, is proving that we are made of star stuff. That our very being is traceable to, what does he call it? Our very atoms are traceable to the cores of the galaxy, something like that. Basically meaning that you are equivocally the same matter that makes up the star.
Yeah.
I've heard of
You're
that
tied to the universe, and in the same way that you are tied to the Earth.
Baby, you're a star.
Yeah. So no longer do you think of things like an animal as just an animal. You see it as an organism in a larger pattern within another larger pattern. So
Kind of ties into a lot of your full personal philosophy, Zach, like talking about how things, you know,
Connect.
there's like a set amount of things that are possible. There's not an infinite aspect of reality.
It's like Interstellar all over again.
I mean, that ties into it,
that's
though.
what he sucked dick. There was
Who just said that?
me. I just said he sucked dick.
Interstellar sucked.
Yes.
I really didn't like it.
It
I
was,
never
enjoyed
watched
it.
it. I don't.
Never
I
seen it.
loved it.
it was a waste of money.
It was such a good movie. I don't know what you're talking about.
Online.
I'm gonna get off topic, and all you're gonna have to deal with. Do you think movies are getting smarter?
No.
What's getting smarter?
Some of them
Stuff,
are,
yeah.
but it just depends on the audience you're pandering to, and since the audiences are getting progressively more stupid.
No, you can look. Movies are getting smarter.
In general.
I would
That's
say
smart,
Interstellar was smart. They actually used scientific facts for that.
No, that's the thing. That it's scientific assumptions. It's not facts.
Or, I'm
If
sorry.
if you see all the videos of the physicist, what's he got? Neil deGrasse Tyson and the other guy that worked on it. Like they're all like, yeah, that's possible because we have no way of proving it wrong. You know, that kind of stuff.
But that's just going to anything. It's like, is anything right or wrong?
No, that's not related to that at all.
You can make
Well,
it.
I mean, if you can make an assumption on anything and say, hey, that could be
No,
possible
you
or it's
can't make an
not.
assumption on anything either. Because no, you're implying that you can make a guess on something that can't be disproven on things, which isn't true. There are some
I
things.
know. Now I'm just.
You're,
Hold on. Sorry. I'm trying to get my brain straight. So wait, what were you gonna say?
I want to know if you thought movies and stories are getting smarter. I think they are. Like, what's the
It depends because some of them are getting stupider at the same time. Some are getting smarter.
Like I said, it's depending on the audience they're looking for, and since most audiences are kind of going down, movies are going down.
wait, okay? What's
I feel like since that movies, like especially in the U.S. opposed to a place like in Bollywood or in other European film groups, where a lot of new films are coming out. In America, you're just having a lot of remakes and sequels and just continuations of,
Right, you're right.
of the sameness.
Yeah.
Okay, let me.
So there's no development in ideas and
Okay, the story itself.
Thanks for interrupting me, man.
Yeah,
Conversational
Zach,
bully.
you're doing it again.
Deal with it. You want.
We were going into something, and then you just completely, hey guys, let's go back to this.
Did you not like what you were talking about?
I'm gonna sit here until you agree with my point. Okay? That sounds.
That's called a bully. You need help.
Okay, so this effect, the Flynn effect, proves that average IQ rates have been increasing over time.
Yeah, but people aren't acting like it, are they?
No.
You're just
Thank you.
belittling everyone else by saying they're stupid. That's just you're proving that you have a superiority complex.
Excuse you.
And how many? Wait, so what was that source for that? The IQ is actually raising.
Actual IQ rates.
Actual IQ rates.
Yeah.
Is that just from one source or
But
multiple?
you know, like,
Multiple
IQ
sources.
tests are completely subjective, right? Like, they don't really prove anything in a sense. They don't like, test your actual brain matter. It's just like, can you draw a fucking square?
IQ tests don't prove.
It doesn't prove anything.
Right, it doesn't. But they're going up. That's
Okay, cool. Something that doesn't mean anything is going up.
Okay.
So it's dick size. I mean.
The rise of Google and the internet and the smartphone has proven that anyone can now Google any fact, which makes movies a lot harder for them to lie to their audiences. If one person's like, that's total bullshit.
But is it true?
What do you mean, is it true?
Do you look up the facts on a movie before you go to it? That way you can be like, you ain't gonna fuck me mentally.
I don't go watch The Lord of the Rings for reality.
But they have basic science down in reality. They don't have like fucking arrows going reverse gravity.
No.
Have you seen Legolas shoot an arrow? That's different.
That might be true. That his arrows are bullshit.
Have you seen him jumping on rocks, falling?
That's CGI, man. I thought it was.
That last was trash.
All three of them are.
I just ran about movies. That last movie of the trilogy, the new one, sucked.
Yeah, it was pretty garbage.
Yeah, it was terrible.
I mean, I still bawled my eyes out, but...
Wait, are you talking about what movies are we talking about? The Hobbit?
The Hobbit, of
I think
course.
so.
The
Yeah.
Six Kingdoms?
The five
Kingdoms.
armies. The five armies.
Battle of the Five Armies.
That one. It was
Jesus.
trash.
Nowhere in the book. Nowhere.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, no.
I didn't care for the book because I didn't read the book. So I was like,
Of course you didn't.
it'll be good.
No, I
But,
actually like it.
Of course, Zach woun't read the book. Zach never reads the book.
oh, you calling me something?
Zach, you a bitch.
I have some
He's a
questions
bitch.
that I don't think you'll be able to answer about this own book.
You a bitch, Zach.
Wait, what are you trying to...
I want to tie it back to the universal standpoint. Okay, there you go. So the universal standpoint is that now we don't see ourselves as just people. We see ourselves through a point outside of ourselves. We don't think. How the fuck does she describe this properly? Anyway, so you know
Each
what,
number, Zach.
you see yourself through like an unemotional. I can't say unemotional third person viewpoint. You see how you yourself stand in the universe, and that's different than the ways what old people used to do. I'm going to say old people, very generalization. What people before they learned about this, in their ignorance.
Yeah, and when you tell me about this, I kind of think of like the diminishing role of religion, in a sense.
Oh, there was a report saying that atheism's on the rise in America, and it says that 3% of Americans is atheist. Well, like in Canada, it's 50%. Oh, like 3%'s a lot for America.
Is it
Wait,
50%.
50% of Canada is atheist? Is that
Yeah,
what
pretty
you're
much, yeah.
No,
Okay.
So Lucas, I've read the same fucking article. You're confusing. They said 3% will identify as atheists, while a large section, I think it's like 40 or 50%, will identify as non-believers.
Yeah,
okay.
no
Not
shit.
atheists. They're not.
Because that's actually smart to say, so you don't get shunned.
Yeah, that's so you have a society which, despite that now I think it's non-believers outnumber the Christians, they still believe the Christians are powerful, which is probably true. They're not gonna be like, I'm an atheist, fuck God.
In God we trust.
Agnostic.
Okay, I guess I read it wrong. Yeah.
I'm a theist.
Yeah, so people are adopting this new viewpoint of being outside oneself, and that leads to them thinking differently. Now, whether or not this is negative is up to you guys, which is when I asked, do you think that's a negative? Because I honestly, I can't speak for anyone who doesn't have this viewpoint, because I have it, I think you all have it, I don't think anyone doesn't have it anymore. So do you think we lost something from then till now?
Repeat, Sven tried to interrupt.
I had to repeat my whole statement.
Yes.
Okay, because our modern age, everyone has this viewpoint now. It's impossible for us to be like if we lost anything. Because I don't know if I did, because we all have it now. Our parents have it. We're so tied to the universal standpoint is that none of us can speak when we didn't have it. So it's impossible to say, has my standard of happiness or life improved or decreased since then? Do you guys think that maybe it's a bad thing or a good thing?
Create that to a concise question.
Do you like being smart?
Do I like being smart? Most of the time, yeah, but sometimes I really don't.
Is being smart understanding the universal standpoint?
Ignorance is bliss.
You totally spoke. You fucking spoke.
I wish I could be like the plebeians.
Is being smart equal to understanding your place in the universe and seeing yourself from
No.
a different perspective? It's
I
not?
don't think so.
You
I don't think intelligence has anything to do with understanding your role in life.
I think it's natural. I think that once you learn about
That's more of an enlightenment than
like I mean
actual knowledge.
once you know what system you're in, how is it impossible to lose that information? How is it possible to not see yourself from a universal standpoint?
Anybody else want to talk?
I'm not
If
getting
I
what
saw
the
myself
question
from a
is.
universal standpoint, I
Yeah,
would feel so much
let's
more insignificant than I already am.
I mean, is it impossible to unlearn knowledge? Is that what your question is?
No, but okay, I'm gonna move on.
No, you're being a conversational bully. Stop it. What are you trying to get out of
Like
this?
I am the conversation. That's how I feel.
I am God.
Yeah, I am the law here.
Well, you do record this, so I'll give you some Imperium over that one.
A $5 recording thing I bought online. Anyone could do it in the group. It's not too hard.
I'm pretty sure you could have found it for free.
I could have
No,
stolen.
seriously.
I think you like being a martyr, so we'll let you stay in that position.
I like being a martyr.
How am I dying?
Oh no, being a martyr doesn't imply death. It's just, we're persecuting you.
Okay, so anyway, so she says that by having this universal standpoint, you're isolated from the rest of the world because you no longer see it from the perspective of yourself, and thus you lose some sort of connection.
Well, like Sven was saying, it kind of like makes you feel insignificant.
Like, wait, is this kind of like the eternity versus death kind of
Not
thing?
there yet, but I'd like to talk about you. I guess you want to just tie that straight down? Like, what your definition?
Go ahead, Lucas.
What do you think? Yeah, you go ahead, Lucas, and I'll ask my question.
Wait, what was the question? Because I'm asking, is that the question?
No, that's my answer to your question.
What was my? I didn't ask anything.
Oh, goddamn.
He was talking about the universal standpoint.
Yeah, that for
Can
now.
you iterate?
Yeah, that we're isolated because we no longer have an intimate connection as ourselves to things.
And I tried to tie in like Sven's like point on insignificance due to like obtaining this knowledge.
Well, I just think that you don't need to, like, if you, it's hard to have a relationship with an animal, like a pet, or a person, for example, if you understand that they are just a collection of atoms a certain.
That's the common mistake of saying, "Oh, that science strips away the poetry and beauty of life."
I'm asking you a question that
you're starting to sound like Dr. Manhattan. And Lucas knows that. Like,
I know what you're talking about.
the fact that all matter is matter. Everything else is insignificant. We're all connected. It doesn't fucking matter. That's basically what it is.
In 5 minutes, Zach will tell us to shut up and ask a question.
In that case, let me quickly say what I have to say. I mean, yeah, that's all true, you know. Yeah, I do kind of like ponder it sometimes, but I mean, I don't really let it I don't acknowledge that. I don't let it affect my view. There's some sort of unsaid reason to kind of go on.
Well, my life, when a person who naturally thinks they're special, and there is something there, when they learn this information, they are the ones who typically have the
mental breakdown.
Yeah. What's the word? I think it's
suicide.
Epiphany.
Only the optimists commit suicide. Something.
Wait, you're talking about I know what you're talking about. Is it an epiphany, or is it something else?
Are you talking about that kind of moment?
Yeah.
That's an epiphany. Good job.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I think that's what Zach's talking about.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they feel a lot.
Oh my God, I'm made of atoms and I don't mean anything. Right.
That's because if you started off without really feeling that you were self-important, then learning that information doesn't bring very much to you. But by believing that you and everything else was naturally special, and then learning that,
How do we know we're not naturally special? We don't know everything. I mean, you think. I can't hear what you're thinking.
Our circulatory system, it's very complicated.
We haven't really been able to explain, thoughts and personality, really, have we? To a formula or, a chemical, certain balance.
Emotions. Emotion's a big one.
You can take a pill that makes you happy. Is that
no, you can't.
Yes, you can.
I mean...
It's not necessarily make you happy, it's more of a numbing.
We have medicine that messes with your brain chemistry in ways that's tested to prove things. They've done their tests. They know that it works most of the time.
But have we...
It's reproducible in a science experiment. Can I go in, mix these atoms together and make a human? And predict what they're going to do based on some sort of formulation, some sort of law?
Not yet. Not on an atomically restructuring scale, but we're on a chemical scale and a cellular scale.
So I consider myself pretty fucking special.
You consider yourself special because why?
I'm an individual.
But you're not.
I think.
So?
Ideas.
So, animals think.
You're just another brick in the wall, Elijah.
You are.
Yeah, but I am a brick in the wall. It's not it's just one, glob. I'm a brick. I'm different than the brick next to me.
No, you're not.
No other brick occupies my position.
We're more intelligent animals. Let's put it that way.
But any brick could occupy his position, so why does his position matter?
But the brick's not going to be...
That's the thing. It could. It doesn't.
Yeah.
But that's just by chance.
But if you remove multiple bricks, the wall falls.
So he's special by chance.
But he's not special by chance.
We're all special by chance. Buddy, I'm a fucking history major being optimistic. The fuck is wrong with this conversation?
This conversation's gone down a...
I don't know where this is going.
I mean, I kind of like where it's going because we're discussing, alienation, which that's one of the major points. That's kind of under the surface and not really...
Yay! Sector 35 or 34 or whatever that was.
Go ahead, Sven.
Comment. We've been alienating Alexis. She hasn't spoken at all.
Okay, no, she got angry at me last time that I did this, so I'm not doing it this time. It's on you.
I'm doing it this time.
It's on you.
Alexis, are you still alive?
I'm still alive. I've just been trying to figure out what's going on.
Hablas tu voce.
Naniska.
What the fuck is...
But, Elijah,
you
were referring...
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Elijah, you're talking about, the world alienation? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that would be, 35, 36.
Yeah, 35.
35 is world alienation, 36 is the Archimedes point, which the Archimedes point is pretty interesting.
Well, it was the,
That you can change something with, I think, a minimum amount of energy. Was that its rule? I'll do a quick
You think
search.
what is it? A pivot, right?
I'll pull it up right now. How do
I'm
you?
like staring at Lucas, like waiting for him to like interject with physics.
The physics.
I heard pivot.
I don't know if it's an actual physics-based thing. I think it's more like a philosophy.
It's philosophical, but it's applying to like the simple machine.
Okay.
AIs.
Before actual physics, all physics were philosophy.
Some Archimedes.
What about the
That's
pivot?
the definition up here. Do you want me to read it out? The Archimedean point is a hypothetical vantage point from which an observer can objectively perceive the subject of inquiry, view of totality. The ideal of removing oneself from the object of study so that he can see it in relation to all other things, but remain independent of them. There you go. So I guess that's it. I mean, it's not what I think I wrote down what he said it was, where you could change the world with a very limited amount of energy.
So it's objectivity, pretty much.
No, it's in my notes somewhere.
Alex is in here. This should be sex. Okay. I can find this. I don't know how he's doing it. Which work? I say we all hang up and call back.
Okay. So we are definitely recording, and at least one of three things. Don't know which one, but we're definitely recording.
Definitely.
Definitely. This time, it will work. Hopefully.
Oh my god, that's like so much major doubt in that voice.
Well,
I'm not doing this again.
so happy that, I thought it was going to work last time, and then it was just like, oh, you only got 21 minutes. We talked for how long?
Like an hour and 40.
Yeah, it was
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was great too. It would have been a good video. Okay. So, this time we have 22 minutes of footage. We only need to cover the rest of it. So, we didn't get very far from the last time that the recording stopped. I believe we got to only the universal standpoint. It was even before me and Lucas got in our argument.
Right.
The argument of, what was it? Something about universe, your place in the universe, or was that you and Elijah?
Should I repeat my question
Um,
that I happen to remember?
well, do you just want to go over our train of thought? Because I don't think our question is more that we came to the conclusion. Okay, so Selena, we're gonna walk you through what we had.
Okay.
Jump in at any point with anything you might know. Okay, so the universal standpoint is the standpoint in which you see yourself. Who is at my door? Do not come in here. There we go. I am not in a wonderful mood, as you guys can tell. Yeah. So
Hi.
Lucas's mom, why are you here? Yeah.
Hi, Mom.
The universal standpoint is the viewpoint that you see things from more of an objective viewpoint. Now, you don't see yourself as I am Zach. You see yourself as I am Zach, a person on planet Earth, and I am a member of the human species. And
So you mean like a broader point of view?
you see yourself through a broader point. Now, this
Okay.
point, as I argued, could be reached through simple science. And I think I posed the question of, is it a bad thing, and is it inevitable? What do you?
Well, the question is, I think the question is if getting that knowledge is narrowing or not.
That was
Sorry.
a follow-up that we had.
That was a follow-up. Okay, then answer that one first. Okay, sorry.
So the question is it bad to see things from like a global perspective? Is that what you're asking?
Kind of.
Or a universal perspective?
Yes.
I don't think so.
My parents brought me. I've had three reps.
I don't think it's bad because you can. I don't know.
very
If you're just focusing on like this specific, then you're not really gonna know like the whole of what is going on. I don't know if that's the right kind of answer for that question, but
said something similar along the lines. Remember that video I made you guys watch? Remember the Neil deGrasse Tyson one? That knowledge empowers you to act. Well, not to act. No, it empowers you to make a difference. That's what I think having a universal standpoint is. It's pertaining to knowledge, right? I mean, is it not just knowledge? Can you have a universal standpoint without being knowledgeable? Silence. From all four of you.
I agree. I think to have a universal standpoint, you have to kind of know what you're talking about, at least a little bit.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
What if you just have the wisdom?
What do you mean by just has the wisdom?
I'm just saying, like, you just know a bunch of stuff, not everything,
Okay.
but it's enough to apply it everywhere, and it works out just as well for everything.
We can safely say no one knows everything, right? So
Huh? Say it again?
we can safely say no one knows everything, right?
My parents do.
Yeah. Which is why I think it still stands that the universal viewpoint is still there, right? Isn't it just based on your knowledge and understanding?
Mm,
Somehow.
that sounds right.
Oh Lord.
That discussion kind of reminds me of like sociology a lot, because when I took sociology, we talked a lot about like universal standpoints and perspectives, and like you just have to have a very open mind to be able to, I don't know, understand things and apply things to other places in the universe or whatever.
The actually trying to think about there's billions of other perspectives like yours that are going on right now. It blows your mind.
Yeah. So is it inevitable? That's my point. This is the question that me and Lucas came to. Is once you see it from this perspective, is it possible to ever go back to it before?
You mean like just going to like your own little world?
Well, I wanted to say, doesn't everyone have a universal perspective? Maybe a few people who aren't, are.
I'm sure there's people that think like that, but I'm sure someone can just think about it and not really like let it affect them.
I mean, I even think, I think most people see it nowadays through a universal standpoint, and I think that's just because we're all fairly educated. And then that was my follow-up. Once you see the world to this point, and you no longer see yourself as I am just Zach, I am a collection of atoms now that exist in the world, and everything else is a collection of atoms, and we all exist in this pattern.
Then you kind of lose something like a bit of humanity if you do that.
So you're saying it is bad, right? Because you're losing a piece of humanity.
Yeah.
I think when you think about it that way, like we're all made of the same things, we're made of the same things, like the stars are made of books and all that. Like, you don't have like the arrogance, I guess you would have if you would just like think about, I'm a person and I'm good at this, but you know that like you're made out of a skeleton just like someone else is, and you're equal to everyone else and everything else, and
We're all the same on the inside.
She argues that it isolates you from the world, that we lost something that connected us. And me and Lucas said that, or at least I did. I was arguing against him. We might have been saying the same thing, but on different streets. Is that it actually brings you together because.
oh my god.
Hey, your phone ringing.
For example, Neil deGrasse Tyson said the greatest gift was it astrophysics gave the world in the 20th century was that we're all made of star stuff, everything. That we're all kind of equal. And I think that shouldn't make you alienate.
Zach's a Nazi.
I mean, what he said. Zach's I didn't hear anything.
Nazi.
Nazi.
We're all kind of equal, but I'm better.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
Uh,
Oh, I didn't kind of literally, but okay. But yeah, so that once you see yourself as a part of something, a system with everyone else who's also part of it, it shouldn't separate you from them. It should bring you closer to them. And I think
So
that's
she said that it alienates you to have that kind of perspective.
yeah. So this
Could you find that page so we can have like a reference maybe?
well, it's not that far. I think
You know how Zach is with pages. Don't even ask that of him.
I'm trying to hold my phone and read this thing. So we're only on question 2 of like the 12, 13 questions I've come up with. So
Great.
we're going to be here for a while, if you want. Because once we get to an hour, you might feel like I'm done. We'll be like, that's fine. We did this already before.
Please understand, Rozier.
Yeah. This is not fun. Why do you gotta ask me for pages? Why do you gotta do that to me?
Because you will bitch.
God, I know it's here. I just need like a book copy of a digital copy so I can search all the text.
Because I kind of want to see like her reasonings behind like that statement.
Right now that talks about automation. It's either 2 or 3. It's on here.
Page 2 or 3.
Yeah, 2 or 3. It's one of these.
A wee moe, a wee moe, a wee moe, a wee moe.
I think it's 2, paragraph 2 of page 2. I actually want to find the word alienation.
If you're referring to alienation, that's chapter 35. Or section 35.
I thought it was in the prologue. I mean, she mentioned it in the prologue. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna go on, and you guys are screwing me. So, oh yeah, so this is once you have the universal viewpoint, is it possible to go back? And this sparked a long argument with Lucas, where we were saying it's impossible to go back, even if you learn something new that ended up with the same viewpoint as you had before. You're still seeing it through a tiny, slightly different eyes.
I agree with that.
I can agree with
Yeah.
that.
And especially like something like, I don't know, as powerful, I guess you would say, as like we're all the same thing, we're all equal. You can't really like, once you see that, I feel like you can't go back to thinking like, oh, I'm better than you, or
Well, we related it to childhood, for example. We said that as a child, you think of a great many things that once you're an adult that you can't go back to.
you said that.
I did.
I don't remember that.
Oh my
I
god.
Take
do.
the credit.
Yeah, so that's what we said. We also tied it into how, for example, let's say you were a non-believer, and then was it with non-believer to believer and then back to non-believer, or was it believer to non-believer and then back to believer?
I think it was believer to non-believer to believer.
Yeah.
The argument Luke said is, but you can learn something else that will get you to the same place. So let's say you had a believer in God, and then he became a non-believer, and then he became back to a believer. My logic was, by being that non-believer, by coming back, he will still see it from a different perspective than he did the first time. It's just the same goal, but you still see it slightly differently.
I agree with that. I think, I mean, maybe something happened when he was not a believer to make him go back to believing. Maybe.
Jesus came down.
What?
He drifted down from the sky and blessed our eyes.
Oh my god. How much crap did you guys paste in the chat? So much.
Hmm?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the follow-up questions. Okay, so we can now go to chapter 1. I know. We're making such headway.
Didn't we already talk about chapter 1 in the first 22 minutes?
No, we did it
Sure, why not?
the next 20 because you guys dragged it on. And every time I said, let's go to the next chapter, you were like, Zach, you're being a bully. So
Because you are being a bully.
we just want to get this done, okay? Today, can we just finish it?
Sure, Zach. Why not?
Questions, talk about what we talked about, be done.
Yes, Zach. Continue.
I've been awake for 12 hours, okay? Not in a pleasant mood.
I recommend taking a nap.
Yeah, let me just do that right now while we're filming this.
Okay.
Didn't Rozier say it's better to be silent? Maybe he meant that for some
It's
of
better
us.
to be silent than speak bullshit.
So okay, so you know how she defines the three kinds of things. What does she actually call them? The three kinds of the three
Labor, work, and action.
No, the three fundamental human activities: labor, work, and action. She defines labor as the natural state of things, or like living. Eating.
In my notes, it says we define labor as it feeds life.
Yeah, I mean, she says animals do labor.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
They're a tan SUV. What a nice thing drive might be.
And we were talking about, what were we talking about? Trying to define between the two, labor and work.
No, I wanted to tie this back into the point that I asked you guys. Remember where I said, why does she call action politics back then? Where she was saying one form of action is politics, and I was like, how is that any different than work? Remember that? I said, how is a guy who makes laws any different from a guy who digs ditches? Because that's what she defines action as. She says action is the only.
The guy that creates laws creates history because that's going to extend on way past when he's died.
A ditch will last way longer than you as well.
Immortality.
Well, that's chapter 3. We can get to that after.
An action is something that connects
Yeah.
humans with history, as my notes say.
How is that different from work?
Okay, well, you're just thinking as the result of a bridge just standing there for 200 or 300 years as approaching eternality, but the idea with which the bridge was built was not for it to outlast humans. Even if that was one of the prerequisites of a good bridge, it's that it lasts a long time. It was built so that it fulfills a purpose. Well, the law itself is there to last for eternity.
That's true. I can already because
I think that's
was it
the diff-
Jefferson who said he wanted to have a constitution that changed every 20 years or something like that. See, I don't
Okay.
pull it up now because it might have crashed the Skype call. And plus, the laws aren't meant to last forever, or at least not all of them.
They can be abolished.
No, that's different. Abolish
Okay.
who went out of your way to change a law that might have been there last forever. I'm saying,
Yeah, I'm gonna take what you took and I'm gonna twist it a little bit
okay.
as I'm gonna redefine that in that case the law isn't the law that's created through the Constitution, but the law that Jefferson said that it should change every 20 years.
Oh, so that's what you're saying should be forever.
I'm twisting it a little. I mean,
Say be forever.
But I mean, so, but are you okay? So your logic was things that are meant to last forever are actions, right? They're the
yes, like that's in their purpose,
What about a person?
intention.
Okay, what about people who build things that are intended to last forever? Like the guy who put a satellite up there with a bunch of DNA.
That's
guess
not
you
supposed to last forever.
Yes, it is. It's supposed to last until the end of humanity.
So I guess then you would consider that action, I guess, if that was a purpose. If you do something with a historical purpose, then it's action.
That's what she defines action.
Yes.
Okay. I don't really remember my whole argument for yesterday. I think it was more confusion about why politics was different from work. Oh, and she then draws the distinction that work and labor have become almost the same thing nowadays. That because we work to get money, which we then spend on food, that there isn't really a distinction between them anymore. And I was wondering if there ever was.
We work for labor.
So what?
So, like, are you saying, like, we work for labor?
Not like work for labor, but we labor to work? Is that the better thing? It doesn't matter which way you say. I'm saying that they're the same now, right? Like you would die without money, right? Can we all agree? Admit that?
But what about homeless people? What about those people that live out in the middle of nowhere, like in the woods, and fend for themselves? They don't
Well, then
exactly.
Survivalists.
their lives.
Yeah, a lot more miserable without money, right?
No. Okay, but the
No.
people.
I
Selena,
feel like
the
they
people
do that for a reason.
Oh,
the people that live in the woods by themselves, their labor and work is distinguishable. But for other people, mostly I guess urban people, it's become undistinguishable.
Yes.
Right, Zach?
oh, what? Yes, sure. I was trying to find my next question.
Okay.
Yes, Lucas, you are 100% correct. I agree with you.
So you are a Nazi. I knew it.
Oh,
Ah.
okay. Where was this? I have all these more questions. Where were my list of questions? Oh, there you go. There they are.
We can say it's forever.
Oh, yes, she draws 3 distinctions in the next chapter. Is it even the next chapter? Probably not. Where are we? There we go. Yeah. Okay, so chapter 2. She draws a distinction that Aristotle named 3 things that we, I guess you can say, are a form of action that people can live for, that separates them from, slaves, either slaves or animals. And those are a life devoted to the matters of polis, what is this one? The life of enjoying bodily pleasures, in which the beautiful as in given is consumed, and the third one, which is and the life of the philosopher devoted to theory and to the contemplation of things eternal. Okay, those are the 3 things that she said makes you free. Yeah, do you guys agree with that?
My Skype just kicked me out, and I got back in. So I missed it.
Sorry, what? I can't hear.
She got the boot. So repeat yourself. Can you do that in a more generalized question?
Okay, fine. How do I possibly do it? Okay.
Wait, is it on the Skype
Yeah.
question things?
Yeah, it was on those. You have to scroll up to find it. You want me to repost them?
Nah, I can
That'd
look
be
for
helpful.
it. Or go ahead, whatever.
I mean, I prefer to jump straight into the eternality versus immortality because I came up with a few more questions that while I was at work. I don't remember what we even talked about for this chapter 2. We did discuss something, Rozier, but I don't remember it.
So did you?
Because technology has betrayed us, just like in Terminator.
So I have 3 Skype recorders.
So, wait. The one about immortality, was it?
No. It was, Oh, well, I guess maybe we didn't have a question for that. No wonder I don't remember discussing it. Because we didn't. Or did we? I'm going to jump to chapter 3 then. Because I don't know what it said. And I don't quite care quite much. So, chapter 3, the eternality versus immortality. You know how she said eternality was beyond time?
Mm-hmm.
And immortality is just living forever. Do you not think that maybe they're the same thing? Do you guys think that? Or
There's like a similarity.
no, do you think they're basically the same thing?
Oh.
Whatever that E word and what?
Eternal. Fuck.
Not a hard.
Eternal or immortal. What's the difference?
Well,
Is there a difference between immortalness and immortality?
immortalness?
Because when I think immortal, I think of human beings living forever. When I think eternal, I think of like something that isn't organic or something psychological, not psychological.
Yes.
An idea.
Didn't we get distracted at this point?
Yeah.
Lucas said there was going to be an end to time or something like that. Or the time is different.
Yeah, well, her idea of eternality like surpasses time, I guess.
Okay. I mean, couldn't a man who lived forever technically surpass time?
No.
Say he was.
No,
Why?
because when time ends, he ends.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because
he's
there's
part of
nothing left in
time.
existence.
So, I mean, he's already immortal. We're defying physics in this case.
Yeah, so immortality follows time. So when time ends, he ends.
Yeah, you can't have immortality without eternity.
My logic is the same. They're just a tiny bit different in time, right? Like,
Nah, I feel like there's
The way I see it-
there's a good difference.
When I think of immortality, first of all I think of Kid Cudi, but I think of like Sven said, like something living that just can go on forever, or something physical, and then eternality would be like, I don't know, I guess an example would be like a saying or something that isn't physical. You can't actually like hold it. You can't.
we're gonna get on that. We're gonna get on how human is immortal. But first off, jellyfish are immortal. I just want to let all of you know that.
Are you spinning in your chair again?
No, can you not see me? No, you can't.
No, it's
We can't hear you.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Jellyfish can hear me.
Drop out a couple times.
I don't know how to fix that. Can you hear me now?
Just talk
Yeah.
close.
Oh, I'm actually because I'm still lowered my volume from yesterday. Volume. Can you hear me now?
Oh fuck!
Oh. Is this better?
Yeah, I just hear a airplane.
Oh.
I hear an echo of you now.
Echo.
Keep the fan on.
Is this better?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, yeah. So jellyfish are immortal, and they can do that because they can just go back to when they were young and then re-age and then go back again, which makes them, I think, one of the few immortal creatures on Earth.
Wait.
Talking about jellyfish, right?
Jellyfish?
Yeah.
Jellyfish?
I'm thinking of their breeding cycle or whatever. And wait.
It's only one type of jellyfish. It's not all of them. It's just
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
one type
I
of
was-
jellyfish is immortal. The rest can live fucking a long ass time. Yeah, but the one jellyfish, I think it's called the Hydra. Is it the Hydra? Please be right.
Oh, hydras? That's not even a jellyfish. That's like a
Mythical being.
Okay.
yeah. It's like a microorganism.
No, it's called the
Water bear.
No, that's not immortal. That's basically indestructible. The
What's the difference between that?
Oh, okay. So how the fuck do you say this? Turpidus dorni.
It's not that hard of a word to say.
You fucking assholes. I'm gonna post this. Yeah. You can say that. $10. No, don't. No, not $10. $4.
Wait, hold on. Let me get my biology on.
I bet you.
Where is it?
Ceratopsis darni?
Did you just look at the pronunciation of it and say it that way?
No.
I can't even find the pronunciation.
Ridopis.
Type it into YouTube. Say how do I pronounce, and then bam. It's not that hard, Zach.
Yes,
Ceratopsis darni?
it's one of them.
Oh.
But it's the jellyfish that is immortal that lives at the very bottom of the ocean.
Is it that? Oh, have you seen a vampire squid? Those things are beasts.
Yeah, but they're pretty, like, they're not strong or anything. They just look.
They're huge.
Are they huge? I thought they were no bigger than like 5 feet across.
Oh, I thought they were pretty big. Or unless I'm thinking of something else.
They're so.
Yeah, I think it's something else.
Everything at the bottom of the ocean is scary. Nothing.
The ocean itself is scary.
They just need a hug.
Alright, you go do that, it's fun.
Okay,
BRB.
we'll tie a cinder block to his feet and drop him off the That has to be like my worst fear. It's like the deep water. That's the worst.
What's so scary about it is like you don't even know. We don't even know like everything that's down there.
What scares me is that I do know what's down there and I just can't see it. That's what scares me. I'm afraid of like, oh god, there's like anything there wants to eat me, can eat me, and will try to eat me, and I just don't know where it is. I can't see.
Well, we could actually. We do have the resources to do it, but no one finds it significant enough to actually look
No,
or to get funding for it.
no, I think it's a cross between people want to do it, but they don't. There's not enough return on the investment. It's not like, hey, we made money because you're just
I learned this last semester from my biology teacher, but I think all of past Earth's history, I think the funding to find it all is about $1 to $5 million. So we have the resources to do it. It's just no one wants to invest in doing so.
no. I mean, wouldn't you? Because what do you mean by explore? Do you just want like a map of the ocean? We already have that. Do you like want to?
Like I know, like actually doing a good, not because doing a map of the ocean floor just requires echolocation,
Well,
which is actually very simple.
probably more than just echolocation. But I mean, I imagine you'd have to like. Are you wanting like a big trip down there with like multiple submarines and stuff?
Yeah. Actually, look.
Well, my problem is it's really dark. So
It's called
Don't
a
they need like
flashlight.
don't they need like a super strong like tank or something to like?
Oh yeah, to withstand the pressure. Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
the joy nowadays is that you don't need to send people down there. You can send a robot and it'll just take pictures.
Because it's gonna be okay.
What?
Can we tie that back to this book?
Right, no, I want to say, what is scarier? Okay, so you have a monster that you can't see, okay? So you have an invisible monster. Is that scarier? Or a monster that you can see, you're just not seeing it for no reason?
You're just
Wait,
not
one more
watching.
time?
So let's say, okay, so you're in a scary place. I don't know, whatever you scares you most, like a forest, jungle, doesn't matter. And,
Space. God.
okay, and you either have an invisible monster, that you, okay, or a monster that's visible, but you just can't see it for some reason. It might be too fast, it might be, you know, what is scarier in your own opinion?
One that's invisible or one that you can see but you can't see because it's too fast.
Something like that. Something that it's visible, but you're just not seeing it.
I mean, either way
I
you
think
can't
it's scary
see it.
regardless.
You'd be scared regardless.
Yeah.
I think
With both situations.
the one that's like, you know, too fast for you to keep up with way scary. Okay.
Either way you can't see it.
Yeah. So this I wanted to tie into the. No, I didn't want to tie it all. I just want to go right back to the question. Yeah. So she talks about how people strive for immortality, which I kind of agree with. She says that's what makes us people. Do you guys disagree with that at all?
We wish we were immortal. Is that what it was?
Not that we. I imagine there are many who do, but more like we strive to have some sort of permanence.
Oh, like to leave our mark on the world.
Yeah. Not that just that you want to live forever.
I'm sure a good
For me,
amount of
it's
people
my
want
opposable
that.
thumbs.
Sorry, what, Lucas?
I said for me, it's my opposable thumbs. That's part of my identity of human.
Okay, I mean,
And that just goes back to knowing your place in the universe, then actually thinking about it, you realize you're not as significant as you think you are. And so once you really link it back to that, it's not really important to leave your mark on the world, but then some people just still want to because they feel like they want to be of certain importance, I guess you can say.
okay.
I think if you have the power to, like celebrities, they can definitely do something like that. But like us, the chances of that happening are very, very slim.
Yeah, but wait. But why do celebrities have that power?
Talent.
Because they're more Kim Kardashian.
Well, the only
but-
reason they're popular is because of their father.
No, but where do they get their popularity from?
Well, I
Booty.
think a lot of it is like
And don't wait.
You
I'm not
like
asking. I'm not asking. Okay, I'm looking for something really specific. I'm just gonna say because the reason that they're popular is because people like maybe you like look at them.
Yes, people envy them, I want to say almost.
Okay, but my point is the only reason why they're popular is because like
People give them their attention.
yeah.
Yes, but because they have that attention, they can use that. Most of them don't, but they can use that to do like better things and inspire more people because more people pay attention to them than like the average person. And I think if they wanted to do something, it would be a lot easier than if like one of us wanted to do something.
Yeah, but I want to say that if you don't have to make them the source of goodness. I mean, you can just teach everyone to be good, and then they'll just go ahead and do it themselves.
Well, of course. But if you're doing good out like if you're in your little town doing good things and stuff, someone in a different country isn't really going to know about that. But if like a celebrity is doing something good, then it'll be everywhere. Everyone will know it everywhere, and
Okay, just
yeah.
okay. So, but how does that help the world if we know about a celebrity doing good, but
Well, I
no
mean,
one
it
else?
doesn't. I don't think. I mean, I don't know if it would be. I don't know. I
Oh,
don't. It wouldn't really be a difference if someone knew about them doing something or if someone knew about you doing something. But I don't know what I'm trying to say. I guess it's just easier for them to. I don't know. If you see something good happening, it kind of inspires you to do something good yourself.
And then we
I
just sit down on the couch thinking, I'll do it tomorrow.
Yep.
oh, I wanted to tie this into. Okay, so I don't think she talked about how nothing man creates is immortal, right? Like it's all going to be destroyed one day. Like, even our greatest achievement, right?
If it begins, it ends.
Yes. So you have, you know how who was I don't want the saying people die two different ways because when you actually die and then the last time someone says your name.
Yes.
Um, don't you think everyone will be subject to that fate?
Eventually.
Yeah. Okay.
Or,
So, no.
well, unless you're like, who's someone that would be remembered? Bill Gates. He'll probably be remembered for a long ass time.
See, this is my problem.
George
You're trying to say a long ass time is equivalent to immortality, which is impossible.
Because he's not necessarily immortal, because eventually he'll just become outdated. But just saying,
I wrote an essay on this once where because nothing can last forever, like even the universe itself, eventually we're all going to die, be death, nothing will be remembered. Why do people strive for some sort of permanence in the world? I think most people know that they're not going to be remembered.
That's a good question.
Do any of you have an answer? That's a good question.
Does anyone here strive to make a mark or be remembered?
I like doing my own thing.
Yeah. I don't, personally, I don't really care if people remember me as long as I had fun myself with my life. And it doesn't really matter if people are like, oh yeah, she was a cool person. I mean, as long as I had fun, then I don't think it matters.
And in that case, you are not a person. What
I know.
you are?
Maybe this is what combines us as a group. We don't care. We're not human.
So do you think that she calls animals immortal? And I just want to quickly disprove this point. Do you think animals are immortal compared to
Yes.
really?
Because I feel like till the end of time, there will be some sort of organism running around.
Are you saying that all animals are distinct from humans, and humans are not animals?
Wait, okay, that's where I have to draw the line. Humans are animals.
Okay.
There's no denying that.
Okay, so this is my logic. She said animals are immortal. Okay, I disagree with you right there because many of them have gone extinct. Are you referring to animals as a species? Because many of them, as I said before, have gone extinct. Are you referring to animals as like animals, just not humans? Well, that's different because A, humans are animals, and two, what makes a not human? Is a not human an animal that isn't sentient? is a not human, an animal that, doesn't walk on two legs and doesn't have a brain. Is that what we're talking about?
I feel like comps.
Animals is, I don't agree with. I don't think that's talking about like just because even if I don't see how she can draw that line and say animals are immortal.
Can you find that in the book?
Yes, I'm looking at it right now.
The reason why I think animals are immortal is what I said earlier, because it doesn't have to be on Earth necessarily, because there's time going on somewhere else in the universe, and there's probably some organism that we don't know about.
Of course.
But what if
So
organism is like, I don't know, a sentient? Is that an animal?
just because it's from a different planet doesn't mean it's sentient. What do you mean by like?
It's sentient, like a person. I'm aware.
Oh, yeah.
I think therefore I am.
Does it have to be aware? Not all animals are aware.
Okay, 18. The only mortal things in existence, because unlike animals, they do not exist only as members of a species whose immortal life is guaranteed through procreation. I don't buy that at all. You can say the same thing. Humans are animals, and our immortality is guaranteed through procreation of our species. Okay?
Okay.
But we're not, right? I mean, she says we're individuals. She's saying animals are not individuals in this case, which I also disagree with.
What?
So she's saying we're not. Go on, Lucas.
Because no humans can be the same, which I disagree with, by the way. Oh, shit. Selena dropped.
Just keep going.
Check my recording, because you have enough time, but let me just check to make sure it's going to work. I'm going to stop it, and I'm going to restart it, okay? I'll stitch these all together. Okay, so I closed the call, and I reopened it, or the recording and reopened it, just to make sure that we're going to record it. Because I think what happened last time was, I think Alexis got kicked out for some reason, and then he rejoined in all. I have no clue what was happening yesterday. So, in this case, I'm just going to save it multiple times, make multiple videos, stitch them all together, upload it by, 3 o'clock, 2:30. It depends on how long the upload will take. And then call it a day. Have, you guys comment on it, and we'll go home. Or stay home.
Wait, what?
Yes, you must know that, right? I think I called everyone quite angrily.
Yeah, I was like, can I just go to bed?
You called us?
Yeah, I called everyone, including you, twice.
On Skype or on the phone?
On
both.
cell phone.
I just
he was
downloaded
having
Skype.
a moment.
Well, I was angry as hell because where the fuck did it? I had a file, but the file was only 22 minutes long, and it said we. Okay, I can show Rozier. Rozier, look.
I think we jinxed it yesterday when we kept talking about it.
Okay. So I think what she's saying, though, because I want to finish that, is that as long as we can keep having sex and keep having babies, we guarantee the continuation of the species, guaranteeing our history, guaranteeing our mortality.
Sure, but you can say that about people. So why did she say that people are not immortal? Is that because they're individuals? And that makes them, because once an individual dies, he's dead, and their kids can't be the same. That's what she says. But I think maybe some animals are individualistic. Are you saying that those animals are not immortal? Is that where she draws her line? Things that have characteristics that don't,
Yeah, but I mean, they don't have a public sphere of a world in which they have a continuation.
Maybe dolphins have public spheres. We don't know. We don't explore the ocean. See, we don't know. This is why we need to explore the ocean. See what kind of culture dolphins have.
Pink dolphins. I
don't
think they're river dolphins. Is that what they're called? Yeah.
Yeah, Amazon river dolphins. They don't live in the ocean. Did we answer that question? Because now I want to ask the next question follow up, where she said,
What?
Which she compares philosophers to becoming. God, I don't like the part where she says. Oh
no, wait. Okay, you don't know about dolphins. I mean, but is there a way to get to know that answer? To figure out if other animals have a culture?
Well, I mean, couldn't you just...
That question... That question reminds me of, that question is, it reminds me of that one question, like, can animals actually talk, but they don't talk around us? Like, do they do something not around us that's actually like us? Does that make sense?
Mm.
Yeah. I mean,
Are they more intellectual than we think they are?
Are they more intellectual than
They're
they
the
lead on?
smartest ones plotting these kills.
I think we
What? So it's like Toy Story.
No, well, you can test to see some things, but I mean, like you can put. I think what they're looking for is, are they communicating with each other, and you can just see that.
Alright. Do you know?
Of course they
ever seen
Do I what?
communicate with
in
each other.
Doctor Who the Weeping Angels? Sorry, wait. In Doctor Who the Weeping Angels.
Yes, it's the only episode of Doctor
Yes.
Who I've seen.
Okay, what if animals like that?
What-
Whenever anything is observing them,
See, now I think it's going to cut out again. Okay, so
they go to the unintellectual side.
okay, Lucas, I couldn't hear anything you just said. I think it's because of Skype. So, do you want me guys to restart the call, stop the recording, restart a new recording? Because it's on my phone. I definitely have it on my phone. We didn't lose that. But this might have broken it. Just it. No response from me.
I guess. I
Up
guess
to
do
you.
that.
Okay, I'm gonna just stop.
Uh,
Okay, so you said if they're like the Weeping Angels, where if anything's observing them, they act still like a statue, and we can't tell or learn anything from them that's new. My logic is, how would they know if anything's observing them?
They don't have to. It's automatic.
So you're saying there's an automatic process in them that knows itself if it's being observed, but doesn't give that information.
It doesn't have to know. It just does it.
So, okay, so this is a hypothetical. You're asking me one of my hypotheticals. What if we have magical animals on the world? They know if they're being
But
observed.
if everything
Magic.
but us is like this,
Oh my god, like, you mean like Wonder Pets, like, when we're gone,
Yeah.
they're actually like,
Wonder Pets,
What?
Wonder Pets. Oh no. Sorry.
okay.
Do you not have a theme
Yeah.
song?
Knew one of you dumbasses would start singing it.
like what, like when no one is there, they're like going out and like doing stuff, or not doing stuff, but
They
like they
stand on
do
2
things that
feet
they don't
and they
do
go
around.
out.
You know what my logic is? If you have really good Pixar film. What else can I say besides it? Because I thought we agree that unless a human can observe such things, then it's irrelevant to the human condition. Right? We said this during our house discussion.
Okay.
I think I can agree with that.
So we said page 20. She talks about how the philosopher's experience of the eternal, of the more Greek words, Aristotle, that words. Okay, so she says because philosophizing exists outside of the realm of human affairs and outside the plurality of men, he becomes kind of eternal. Do you guys agree with that statement? I disagree with that. That philosophers, it's the first sentence of page 20, second paragraph, where it talks about the philosophers kind of eternal. And I don't know what she means. But I disagree with that because when I hear eternal, I hear forever and ever. I think the logical definition. You might be thinking of it as a different way.
Someone look up the definition of eternal.
Oh, someone else do it and read it because I just want to make sure this doesn't crash. That's what happened last time. Is we were searching the definition of a word, and then you guys paid attention to just crash the whole Skype thing. I was like, oh no, no.
So Zach, are you
Lasting or existing forever.
I have no idea.
So eternal has no end or beginning.
That's what it means? No end or beginning?
Wordle is living forever.
Having no beginning or no end in time.
I don't think it matters what the definition is, as long as it's her. I think her definition. Let me get her definition. Son of.
Didn't he just ask us to get the definition?
I did ask you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay, I can try.
Where is? Why can't she just give a definition? Like, why does she got to come up with things and then give it a paragraph?
And then immortal is never dying or decaying.
So that just goes back to the organic living thing.
What's the difference between indestructible, incorruptible, intangible, or invincible? What are those?
You know what? You're just taking this too far now.
Because there is a difference between each of those.
Okay, you know what the difference is? How they're spelled.
No, that's not it either. But
They are different. They are.
tangible definitely is different from them, but invincible and incorruptible might be the same, with just one with broader implications. So I'm going to go on. So do you agree that philosophers somehow reach a state of eternality when they are philosophizing?
I mean, think about like those, I don't know, like Socrates.
Okay, I'm thinking about Socrates. Okay, what about?
I mean, he was alive a long time ago, and people are still like using his stuff.
I don't think that's how she used the word eternality. I think in this case that they
His
His is more
view,
immortal.
no, he says he can't even write it down. He says,
So look, he doesn't have to. Like the philosopher himself, when he gets in the zone, he reaches a timelessness in his mind. So in that one moment, he reaches eternality.
yeah, like I don't.
We don't have to reach it for him by keep on talking about him. Keep talking about him.
You're right. I mean, she says even writing it down doesn't properly convey it. Yes, she says, okay, yet the decisive that the experience of the eternal, in contradistinction to that of the immortal, has no correspondence with and cannot transform any activity whatsoever, since even the activity of thought, which goes on within oneself by means of words, is obviously only inadequate to render. She said you can't even think about it. You can't think about it, you can't write about it, you can't do the state of something. And I don't think that exists. I think this is a made up. I'm like, what? Isn't it? How is it? How you can't prove it? We can't talk about this. I don't. Because all she'll say is, if she was here, she'd be like, "Well, you haven't reached the state, so you can't speak for it. You were never there, or you never reached it. So what right do you have to say it doesn't exist?"
I mean, can you really talk about something that you haven't had happen to yourself?
Yes, you can. You can speak about.
I mean, you can talk about it, but you don't really know. Like, if someone breaks their arm, I've been thinking about this a lot lately. If someone breaks their arm and they tell you, and you're like, "Oh wow, you broke your arm. That sucks. That you must it must hurt so much." But like, when you break your own arm, it's like completely different. It's not. It's much more than like, "Oh man, this sucks. It hurts." It's like, I don't know. I think it affects you differently when it happens to you yourself, and you get like a different viewpoint on it.
Like a dying relative.
But okay, so does a different viewpoint mean you can't speak on it in the same manner? Because what are you going to speak about it that your unique viewpoint matters? What are you going to possibly say about it besides it hurts? See, people say,
What?
okay, so you're saying they get a unique viewpoint on it. Okay, cool. You have a unique viewpoint. But if you can't express it in any way that's different from another person who doesn't need your viewpoint, why does it matter? Like, let's say you have a coal miner, okay? Coal miner, terrible life, okay? But I don't need to be told from a coal miner how terrible it is. I can be told, from a human, rights expert.
I missed what you said.
I can't hear her.
You're like, I don't know. Maybe it's my Skype, but like it's making your windy. So
I have to use just my cell phone just because I think the Skype recording is going to be total trash. But yeah, so I said your unique experience doesn't mean you speak. You are the only one capable of speaking out on the subject. That's what I was saying. I mean,
yeah, but
yeah, okay.
but it doesn't really happen. Like you can't. You get a better understanding of it when it happens to you yourself.
I want to disagree with that. I want to say you also you
Personal experience.
you have people who, for example, might get raped, right? Horrible thing. But they might think of it way worse. Or they might think, okay, that's probably the worst example I could have picked. This is probably you have people with
Go with it.
no, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna go to another one. Because let's not you have people when things happen to them, they see it from their, like, for example, you know how the stories of the of the parents of a kid who was killed. This is probably not a much better example.
Okay, dude. Zach, I didn't hear any of that.
Okay, so you
Yeah, I didn't either.
I cut out.
They cut out.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now.
Okay.
Citizen of Horizon.
You said that giving you that unique perspective makes you validated to speak on the subject, right? That makes you better than most, right? And I want to say that sure, that's true some of the time, but other times it also makes you incapable of properly speaking out on the subject. Some of the work, like people who,
Because you have a bias.
yeah, you might see it way worse than what it actually is, which is not what I want to be saying. But like, for example,
So you're gonna say that raped people can talk about not raped people?
Okay, no, I want to say you have the parents of kids, who die horribly in a car accident who want the other guy murdered, right? You have those stories because it happened to them that they are, I want to say, clearly biased in what they're saying. They're not more valuable in the saying. That's what I want to say. Right?
They're knowledgeable?
And knowledge.
Or their opinion isn't more valuable?
Yeah, that because it happened to them, it doesn't make them better on the subject. It might actually make them worse. Okay. That's just what I want to cover. Okay.
I don't really agree.
Did you disagree with me? Okay, that's fine. I like disagree.
I mean, what?
Say your disagreement.
I disagree. So you're saying that like it makes your opinion kind of like not usable if it's happened to you? Is that what you're saying?
Kinda. I mean, like, if you were the subject to, I don't know, what's something that's...
Maybe you said you think of it as a lot worse.
Yeah, you would think of it
as it actually is. But maybe, what if you're thinking about what if the people that it happens to are actually in the right, and we are not in their position, and you don't know how bad it actually is? What if we're not thinking about how bad? We're thinking of a lot less than it actually is.
Okay.
So maybe we're in the wrong.
You're saying...
It hasn't.
Okay. So I'm gonna say what you said, just slightly. Is you're saying that rather than being biased in falsehood, I put to falsehood, not in falsehood. That was going through. They are actually saying the truth now. That their anger or not, well, that they whatever they feel is the right way to go about it. Oh God, what is this? Zach, the color of... Oh.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Oh. What? Okay.
But
You're looking at my room now? Okay, yeah. So, I mean, but what makes you think they're right? So that's my logic is...
Because it's happened to them. They have more personal experience. You can't judge how bad something is until
you tried it yourself.
Exactly.
But you can think that you have 100 people with 100 different experiences. They all conflict with each other. So you must have, that all their experiences must be wrong, right? That it isn't the experience that what gives you the right to speak on a subject. Or it doesn't make you the forefront of the subject. It doesn't make you infallible on it. You know, like all the mothers who are like, I am a mother, so I can speak perfectly. I'm like, no, you had a kid. It doesn't make you a genius.
Well, yeah, but that's different.
No, but you're okay. So you're saying, for example, you had a kid. Your kid gets hit in a car accident, right? You want
Yeah.
the driver dead, okay? Let's say the driver was drinking. And you're like, I want him murdered, okay?
Okay.
Saying we can't just prison him for 30 years, right? I think that's what.
I can't hear you.
Could someone hear me though?
Yeah.
No.
I'll say
No.
it again. So here's my hypothetical. You have a kid. Your kid died because a drunk driver hit him. You want the drunk driver punished severely, I imagine. Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's flip the table. You had a kid. Your kid killed someone, and their mother is screaming for your child to die. Are they right now? Are you going
Give me
to
a minute to think.
Are you going to say that no, because it happened to them, they are completely okay with saying this?
If someone hit my kid, maybe if someone hit my kid, I don't know if I'd want them to die. If
I'd
they
be
were
like-
drunk,
No, I said
Okay.
I changed it to punish severely. I said
I would be.
like what?
prison.
Okay, how about this? How about instead of either you want them to live or you want the death penalty? How about the moment that has happened to you and you're involved, you just don't have an opinion. You don't have a say in what happens to them.
Oh, so you're saying, Lucas, that you should follow what I say, just be like, I can't speak for it because I'm. Oh,
Either whatever your opinion is, either you're for capital punishment or not.
I think that's also wrong in my mind. You made me to say that having no opinion just because you had an accident happen to you is just as bad as having a biased opinion, right? Do you agree? Or would you
Wait, say it again. Say it one more time.
would you say having no opinion on a subject for fear of bias is just as bad as having a biased opinion on the subject?
Yeah, I guess
You're saying that okay,
I understood that correctly.
okay. Well,
I'm saying, what I think the best way to see things would be to have an opinion before it happens, and then compare your opinions before and after to see how it changed, to see if you do have the right judgment.
I agree with that.
okay, now we clearly have made it on time. Now, do you guys want to go on to the next few chapters? I also have a few questions on, industrialization.
Have we have an hour of video?
Yeah, we have an hour video of just this. That's
I think we're good.
okay. But you crashed. Oh,
I mean, I'd like to go on, but I kind of do have stuff to do today, sadly.
that's fine. We have to do each of our own things. Okay, Rozier, we would have had a much better video. Not much better. Maybe a different kind of better video.
Oh, definitely better.
Yeah, definitely better.
Make sure you subscribe and like this video. Hey.
Well, everyone say bye. 3.
We're following you on YouTube.
We'll taste the music.